selling point could possibly be people sometimes go to these small social networks to blow up. I've seen people, they get on TikTok in the early days. I believe Charlie
Yeah.
D'Amelio, she's an example. Get on TikTok in the earlier days, blow up because there's no competition there.
Yes.
But for Twitter and Blue Sky, is this not just Blue Sky, Mastodon, Nostr?
Yep.
Is this an either or thing? Because when I keep hearing about Twitter rivals, it almost seems like you're either with Twitter or against Twitter. Whereas with other social networks, you have your Instagram, you have your TikTok, you have your Snapchat. What is the deal with that?
So I think that there's a couple things going on there. First of all, I think it's worth noting that Instagram's parent company, Meta, is actually experimenting with using some of this very same technology for Instagram in a way that could someday result in cross-platform messages being able to be sent to each other. So I like to think of this as email, right? Like there's yahoo.com has an email handle, right? Gmail.com. Back in the days, there was a hotmail.com, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There are all these different email providers. And if you'll notice, you can send emails from one to the other. You don't have to have a Gmail account to send an email to a Gmail account. You can do it from any email address. That's what's happening with social media now. What's happening with social media now is standards are being developed that are going to let us send messages to each other across platforms. And I think what's happening actually resembles in a lot of ways what is happening with crypto. Crypto, Bitcoin, and everything in that ecosystem early on identified central banks as the big bad competitors. And they have built networks of we won't say networks in this issue. We'll say economies of users that are sending money back and forth to each other. There are interoperable platforms that let blockchains connect to each other. So you can send Bitcoin to an Ethereum address and Ethereum to a Bitcoin address, and it gets switched automatically in the middle there. We're seeing something really similar happen with social media. Basically, like the emailification of social media, where instead of central banks being the competition, like you see in the crypto space, it's big social is the competition, and these nascent networks that are learning how to interoperate with each other, they're learning how to let competitors move from one network to another. They're actually in the process of learning how to let them send messages from one network to another, and I really do believe that eventually this adoption from the user up instead of from the creator down is going to force these big social network companies to give their users a little more freedom.
Okay.